Welcome to the Dan Stevens Show. This week we have the news. US confirms first travel associated screwworm case. Gonna get more into detail about that. Mull it over, where I answer a light-hearted philosophical question from the internet. And the topics this week are a little bit about rejection in Edinburgh and why does CMAT say Banther? Welcome to the Dan Stevens Show. I am currently recording from a car park on the banks of Loch, just in Scotland, near Cairnryan. I'm going to turn the camera around for you guys. For those who are listening, I'm just parked in a car park beside a lake. There's the boat that I'm getting home. The Stena Line boat. There's the lake. It's lovely, isn't it? Not lovely when you have to sleep here. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's forbidden to sleep in this car park overnight apparently, but guess who did? So, coming back from Edinburgh, back to Dublin, just done a run of 25 shows in 26 nights at the Edinburgh Fringe Comedy Festival, plus more shows. I mean, that's just me and Rob Nodder's show. So, last night, we did the show at 10:50pm every night, and so finishes up around midnight. And last night, instead of staying in Edinburgh and driving to Cairnryan, which is a 2.5 to 3 hour drive, to catch my ferry, from Cairnryan back to Belfast, I said I'd use the adrenaline that's built after the show to fuel the drive. At about 12:30 I left that last night to go from Edinburgh to Cairnryan. I am pretty exhausted. Yeah, slept in the back there. Forgive me if I'm a bit dishevelled and tired, but you know me, I gotta get the episodes out. So I've written down a few things to go through today. It's currently 9:59. My ferry's at 11:30, so I had to back in. It's Monday morning, back in Dublin tonight to do a show in the Comedy Crunch in the Stag's Head, and yeah, that's where I'm at. So thanks for tuning in. Just to let you know, this goes out on Spotify, YouTube, Apple, the whole lot. For any new listeners, you're very welcome. Any existing listeners, you're my tribe. We're going to start off with the news today. The news. What I've done is, and what I will be doing from now on, is I've gone on RTE, online news, and I've picked out a headline and read into it a little bit, and that's what I'm going to go through today. So today's headline, which is, believe it or not, hard to believe, but it's really scary. So hold on to your hats. It's scary in this car park, I tell you. I don't know who all the people are driving in. Once you see a high vis, you get nervous, you know. There's a little toilet. There's a little small toilet there, in fairness to them. I don't know what this is. It's a nice lake anyway. Had to close all the windows there for the soundproofing, so I might be sweating up a little bit. Anyway, the news. US confirms first travel associates. US confirms first travel associated screwworm case. Screwworm. And I've taken a couple of bits of information from that. So, New World screwworm in one person who returned from El Salvador. Oh my god. The screwworm is going to get it. It's a flesh-eating parasite. And it says in the small print, obviously, the risk to public health is very low. Someone from Maryland came in from El Salvador, and then there's no information about it. Apparently a screwworm potentially lives in a cow, and can infect livestock. But I mean, obviously RT is struggling for a bit of news here. I think I saw a kneecap on the news as well, as usual. RT likes to give the people what they want, and all the information about kneecap. So, screwworm, I tell you, I read that and I won't lie, I don't know if it's just an indicator of where my head is at, but I was like, you know what, I wouldn't mind a bit of company. Even if it was a worm, you'd befriend it, wouldn't you? I mean, there's been a snail in my sitting room back home for, must be 4 years now, just stuck in the corner. It's probably just a shell now, but he's there anyway. He's been through thick and thin with me. So maybe a screwworm would have been nice. You know, if you had it in a jar. I think you can make anything good company, can't you? I tell you, a screwworm would be better company than a lot of people. Jesus, like over in Edinburgh there, Jez, you meet some people, they just have no... Comedians are a very odd breed. Everybody does it because they have a little bit of something wrong with them. Then you have to interact with them, and some of them are just relentlessly annoying. They just have no social cues, and they never had any friends probably, and then they're just part of a big community, and then you have to listen to them. Obviously some of them are brilliant, but great people. But Jesus, sometimes they can corner you, and you're just like, yeah. You know, there's no filter into the community. There's no, like, you know, entrance. Oh, there's a car. Yeah, I slept in the back last night. Jesus, I took a couple of magnesium zinc tablets. I double dropped, actually. You're only supposed to take one. I took two. Got here at about 3:30 a.m. Woke up, my dad rang me at 8:30. My God, I tell you, I wasn't given much conversation. Then I had to change into my shirt there, take my top off and everything. There was cars driving by. I was like, they don't know yet, but this is the Dan Stevens show. They don't know what they're witnessing. The wildebeest taking us. You know, I slept in a pair. I was ready yesterday. I didn't wear boxers. I just wore normal shorts so I could slip them off. Not slip them off. Slip the tracksuit bottoms off. I performed last night, you know, in Edinburgh. Tracksuit bottoms, ready to sleep, basically. I'm learning on this journey that you can prepare. So yesterday evening, packed all the stuff out of the little student room and moved into back living in the car for another night, and fine. Got a nice uneasy 5-hour sleep. Woken up by the blazing sun. I don't know what I said there. In the window. No curtains. I refuse to get curtains. I don't know why. There's something blocking me from getting curtains. I don't know what that is. I'm like, I don't want them. I think it stops the air coming in. I don't know. Anyway, that's the news. Watch out for the screwworm. One screwworm case from someone who returned from El Salvador. And that, of course, is plastered across all the rags. You know, when you look it up, it's all flesh-eating parasite infects person in America. So they've somehow found this tiny worm, and they've put it on the news, which is very, very nice, very scary, isn't it? They're trying to scare people as usual. Not scaring me, to be honest. Like I say, I could use the company. Just don't let it get into your flesh. I don't know. Don't be stupid. You know. Don't. Like bathe in where there's screwworms or whatever. Again, I think they're talking. They scare you with the headline, then it's really about cattle, I think. But keep your cattle, look after your cattle then they won't get screwworms, right? Simple as that. Anyway, that is the news for today. Keep your screw worms in a jar. Next section, mull it over. This is... it's just a random generated... It's a random generated philosophical question, light-hearted, that I'm going to discuss. How am I looking there? For the listeners, I'm looking well. It's me again in the front of the car. So the mull it over for this week's episode is, if a seagull... This sounds like an old Eric Cantona quote at the start. He's an old French soccer player who played for Man United. If a seagull flies over the sea, it's a seagull. If it flies over the bay, is it a bay gull? And then a smiley face came up when I typed it in. What do you think this says about how we name things and their connection to where they are? What does it say about it? Okay. I like their thinking. I like what they've done here. That is like a question I would ask. But it's completely pointless. It was named by some human in the first place, so it would just be merely another human naming another thing, in my opinion. In my on 5 hours sleep in the car park beside Loch Ryan, waiting to get on the boat opinion after 25 gigs. But I think, I haven't thought about this, but it's just another... People name things, don't they? They named the bay a bay. They named the sea the sea. They named water. It's just, again, humans exerting their language on non-human things. So to me, if you want to get on a human level, I would say I couldn't care less about seagulls or bagels. Bagel. Oh, did they do a pun here? I think they might have got me here. Is it a bagel? A landgull? Landgull. Yeah, I think they've done me here. But what would be another example? I can't think of another example. What's something that has a place and a thing in it? I don't know. God, sorry, I'm letting you down here, guys. I don't know. I will think of something. A sea turtle. Are they always in the sea, or are they on land as well? It's another example. I couldn't care about this one, actually. You know why I can't think of it? Because I don't care. That's why. What do you think this says about how we name things and their connection to where they are? Well, to me, yeah, the answer is that what it says about it is that we named everything, and that's it. So, yeah, I'm trying to think of... like an all-day breakfast. Is that still a breakfast? If it's all day? No. So we just... if it's breaking your fast, it is. But we just use it loosely, don't we? Breakfast. Anyway, it's time to move on from that, alright? To the topic section. There's 2 things in the topic section this week. And by the way, I just want to add in here, while it's fresh in my mind, I got a request for a new section called the Agony Uncle section. So, if any of you think of an issue or a problem or something that you'd like me to talk about, please send it in. You can send it in on the Instagram page. You can comment on the Spotify section, or you can email at the Dan Stevens Show at gmail.com. I don't actually have an email, but I'll create one. I have to create one now, don't I? This is on video and audio on YouTube, Spotify, and anywhere you get your podcasts. So, there's a couple of things. There is a lot I'd like to talk about, but there's two things in particular. One is, it's been an interesting experience personally for the last month. So, me and Rob Nodder, my brilliant comedian, he did 100 gigs in Edinburgh. He's 25, I'm 36, and nearly 37. I have this we've developed this nice friendship, almost a brotherhood, I would say. We didn't know how we'd get on over here, but we have different ways of going about our lives, different ways of approaching comedy. But I've learned a lot from him. His work ethic is unbelievable. But every night we'd be out flyering on the street, handing out flyers, trying to get people into our show, and we were quite effective at it. I think I cover like the older generation like me and the younger generation like him more so. I think if we do eventually develop our audiences, I'll be like a millennial kind of guy with young people as well, and he'll dip in. But more or less, I think our audiences will be similar generations to us. But he's about 6'2", very charming, handsome devil, and two of us are out flyering an hour and a half every night from 9 to 10:30. We'd hand out flyers trying to get people into our show. Like, for example, you get pre-sales on tickets every night. One night we had 3, but we got about 40 people in from just being out there on the streets, handing people our flyers and talking to them. So we were good at that. But what I'm trying to say here is that, and my point is if I was sensitive to rejection or the fact that I'm getting older and not as attractive to young women anymore, my God, was it glaring being out on those streets with him. Like, I've learned a lot of things about myself over the past month. Number one, that I can live in a car. That was great. Very happy with that. Number two, I can handle rejection very well. Flyering people in itself, people are like, no. One person was like, looks at the flyer, looks at us and goes, absolutely not. You know, you get a lot of weird people. Mainly people are nice. That's the one thing I learned. And I suspected it anyway, but people are so nice. This is at a festival where there's thousands of shows every night. People are getting, flyers are in people's face like bloody screw flies. No, they're like flies, literally like flies with flyers buzzing around trying to get people come to the show. People do a show and they pay people to hand out their flyers, and yet they're still so nice. But so many young women coming up to Rob, been like, oh, what time is your show on at? You know, and I'd be actually standing there, like, I'd be like, I'm in it as well. And then they'd kind of look at me, and they'd be, and he doesn't wear a hat because his mullet is gorgeous. He has a grey hairline, whereas it's an MWA hat, Mullets with Attitude hat. I'd be wearing it for the branding, but also I don't want to scare people. It'd be windy and my hair would be blown all over the place. Like, the environment for my hair to look normal has to be right, you know, has to be kind of look a bit insane. If the wind hits and it blows my hair back, it really does make a difference to me. So anyway, he's a strapping young man. Sometimes they wouldn't even look at me. I'd be standing beside him and they wouldn't even look at me. They'd just be like, oh, what time is he at a show? And I'm like, yeah, you know, I just let him do his thing. But so many times I just look at their eyes and they're not anywhere near me for any reason, because I'm just 37 now, nearly. So it's just how it goes. That's life, isn't it? I got approached one night. We were out doing karaoke one night, and there was a woman. I think she's probably on crack. She rubbed her. Where's this fella going? She kind of rubbed off me one night in a pub and said, "Oh, you're doing a show over here." I think she was probably looking for money. That's the closest I got to being flirted with. She looked like a heroin addict, right? Let's be straight about it. But Rob, and I see the charm of him, but you wouldn't want to be the sensitive type or the type to get what do you call that thing? Resentful or anything, because he's a chick magnet, you know, and just he's a me magnet as well. I love being around him. He's great, but it's very much the old bull and the young bull. You know, you have to realise you got to let the young bull run loose. And yeah, I think I've suspected it for a while, but as I age, I think I'm just becoming, at best, a series of fetishes. Mullet, beard, burly, stocky. Anyway, that was the first thing. The next thing is something a bit more light-hearted maybe, but just something that's been annoying me. I can't help it, the things that annoy me, okay? This one was... It's a very famous song. Sometimes songs just... It's a song that people have been doing this dance to on TikTok. I think it's called Take a Sexy Picture of Me by C-Mat. Now, if you're in Dublin, if you're on the comedy scene, around the arty people, thou shalt not take the name of C-Mat in vain. Don't say anything bad about her or that song. You get reported to the authorities of culture. But there's just one thing about that. It's the TikTok trends annoy me. And there was one where the song is, she goes, I did the butcher, I did the baker, I did the home and the family maker, I did the schoolgirl fantasy. Oh, I did leg stuff and hand stuff and single woman banter. Tell me what was in it for me. Very catchy song. They talk about screwworm. This is an earworm. And I can see why people got addicted to it. They put something in it. The old audio MSG, you know, the same thing they add into Chinese takeaways. Somehow they have some sort of frequency thing or something. I'm sure it's probably a conspiracy theorist, but it's like there's something they do to it where they get people hooked. It's just catchy as hell, you know. Fair play to her, it's great. But why does she say banter like that? Single woman banter. There was no need for it. No need for it whatsoever. And it's just, if she went around saying banter, do you want to have some banter? You'd be like, stop saying it like that. And she didn't do them things either. She didn't do butcher, baker, home. The way she says home and the family maker. Listen to the song and you'll know what I mean. Just saying stuff weird for no reason. And then nobody questions it. Say it properly. It's called banter. And I hate that word anyway. I got called an anti-bant in Australia years ago. I don't like that banter word. Banter is forced fun. Ooh, let's have some banter. Or even worse, let's have some banter. There's no H in it, see, Matt, okay? Like, well done and everything. It's a very catchy song. Everybody was doing that stupid dance to it. So embarrassing. People that never were butchers or bakers or home and the family makers and definitely didn't do schoolgirl fantasies. My God. Some of them are more like headmistresses. But it's fine, you know. Let's have some fun on TikTok. Have some fun in real life. Says me here, waiting to worried about getting on a boat on my car that I've slept in. Now it's good. I'm enjoying life. But just don't say banter. I mean, sorry to keep saying it, but why? You don't have to explain it then either. If I was an interviewer interviewing her at the Dublin song that people are addicted to awards or whatever, it's it'd be like, why do you say hi C-Matt, it's great to have you on the red carpet. Why do you say banter? No response. Okay. And can you prove that you were butcher, baker, ham and the family maker? Please. For those who don't know that song, listen to it. You'll be addicted to it probably immediately. But it just makes me cringe. Sorry, but it does. All these people dancing to it on TikTok as well. I hate TikTok. I do put stuff on it myself for the comedy. But I just, them songs and stuff. There's one that goes, oh no, oh no, 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 oh no. Oh. Then that song, oh hey, ho, up the road, don't stop, watch you go. Ramble and roll now, up and down again. It's just, it's the antithesis of what I like. I don't know what I like anymore. God damn it. So I think we've steadied out the episode. The last episode went well. We've gone through a bit of a rough patch with the listeners, with the amount of listens. About, I think, 40 or 50% of people finished the last episode. I don't mind giving these stats. That's the reality of it, and I'm responsible for it, so I don't mind. Sometimes people obviously just go, like, I'm well able to handle rejection. I'm speaking my mind here. People either appreciate it or they don't. But let me tell you this much. This is going to be a structured show. I'm working on the studio back home. The next week's episode will be from the studio. We'll be back. And I actually did a full episode with Owen Collins, a friend of mine who I really got to know in Edinburgh. He's a good friend now. We stayed in the same student lodgings, and he's absolutely lovely fella. Did a full over an hour episode with him. It was the first one I did on my new laptop that I invested in. By the way, there's a buy me a coffee link if you want to help me, whatever. But he will be doing some jingles for me. Put it this way, we're getting there, okay? We're getting there. It's going to keep getting better. I'll have guests on. The guest episode that I did with him, I thought the audio was recording through my setup, but it was recording directly through the laptop. I made a mistake. I couldn't put it out there. The audio was too bad. So, that was that. So, big things to come. I have to go and get on this boat now. You can be there within, it's in an hour and 5 minutes. You have to, check-in closes 45 minutes before it. Luckily, it's only a few minutes away, so I'm going to have to wrap up here. But I appreciate y'all. And we'll be back again next week. Thank you for tuning in to the Dan Stevens Show. Please share, tell people about it if you're a fan, spread the word, and spread the word. Thank you very much for listening or watching, and be back again soon. Thank you, goodbye. Oh, hello. Oh.